Hello, Operations Management students. This week we will dive into Chapter 10, which deals with sourcing and supply management. It's all about finding suppliers for your inputs and then managing that supply chain. As we get started, thought for the week comes from Proverbs 11:1. The Lord detests dishonest scales, but accurate weights find favor with him. We've talked about this concept numerous times throughout the course, the concept of scales and fair weights. And basically the premise is to treat others, including your suppliers, fairly, and that is a God-honoring practice. I'm going to start today by showing you a little video about IKEA and some of the things that IKEA has done to manage their supply chain. To view this video is posted in Moodle for you, so I'm going to pause the PowerPoint here and allow you to watch the video. I should mention too that the study guide notes that we normally use in our face-to-face class are posted with this week's materials, so if you'd like to download those or print those out and fill in the blanks as we go along, that would be great. So as you watched the IKEA video, what did you notice about sustainability, social responsibility, and supplier partnerships? Secondly, are sustainable business practices in the best interest of stockholders? Why or why not? So supply management is the identification, acquisition, management of inputs and supplier relationships. So it's all about finding, building relationships, and then making sure that the suppliers are delivering the quality and time frames that you had initially agreed to. So supply management is also known as purchasing or procurement. You'll see those terms used interchangeably in business. Government entities typically have procurement managers, whereas businesses typically have purchasing or supply managers. Effective supply management occurs when a firm's strategic objectives are better met because of effective supply management. And there are several elements of effective supply management. First, timely availability of resources. Can this supplier deliver the inputs to us in the time frames that we need them? Secondly, we're looking for suppliers that can reduce our total cost. And when we talk about total cost, it's not just the purchase price. What does it cost to have things delivered? How far away are they? Are they international, where we're going to incur international shipping costs? And then cost that result with quality. Maybe cost of insurance and taxes. We want to look at the total cost. If we're buying equipment, we look at the cost of maintenance and the useful life of the asset that we're buying. We're looking for suppliers that will enhance quality, that will make us better and make our products and services better. We're looking for suppliers that use technology and are innovative, that will help us become even more efficient and more creative. And we're looking for suppliers that will help us with social responsibility. We're looking for suppliers that don't take advantage of their workers, that don't pillage the earth, that aren't doing damage to the environment. Those are the types of suppliers we want to do long-term business with. As we manage our suppliers, there are risks that we have to think about. Risks are probability of any unplanned events that negatively affect our firm. So, delays and disruptions. A perfect example of that right now is how COVID-19 is disrupting supply chains, because maybe companies aren't working at all, or they're working with reduced staff to keep people apart, and that can cause delays and disruption. Theft of intellectual property, where someone steals our trade secrets. Unexpected price increases that occur. Now we have to make the decision if we're going to pass those additional costs on to our customers, or if we're going to absorb them and have reduced profits. And then product safety problems, when our suppliers send us things that maybe have deficiencies in them that lead to deficiencies in our products. And a prime example of that was a story about lumber liquidators. And I'm going to pause right here and let you bring up the Lumber Liquidator 60 Minutes video, which is posted in Moodle. Take a look at that and then we'll discuss it. Pretty shocking story, wasn't it? So now I want to show the rest of the story and how much money this event cost Lumber Liquidators. Lumber Liquidators was ordered to pay $33 million in criminal penalties, and that was in addition to $36 million paid out in a class action lawsuit filed on behalf of 760,000 customers who bought its Chinese-made laminate flooring between 2009 and 2015. There were also smaller fines from California, and so this ended up costing Lumber Liquidators a lot of money. It also cost a lot of goodwill that will take a long time to recover from. So think about this. How can a company minimize its supply chain risks? What are some things a company can do to make sure it is not hurt by one of its suppliers and the way that they produce inputs that are used in our product or service? One of the terms associated with effective supply chain management is total cost of ownership, which is the sum of costs incurred before, during, and after a purchase. So before, the cost of just finding and then assessing and selecting a supplier, kind of like hiring an employee. You have to find them, you have to interview them, and then determine which is going to be the best for your company. Well, you do that with suppliers. The costs during, costs of buying and receiving items, and then the costs after of storing and owning those items, including those incurred after sale to customers. I'm going to pause right here and allow you to watch another short video. This one was from 2007, and it involved Mattel and one of Mattel's suppliers that used paint that included lead in it, and what the ramifications were of that. So I'll pause this and you can pull up the Mattel video in Moodle and take a look at it. So the Mattel case illustrates how important it is not only to monitor your suppliers, but also your supplier's suppliers. In the case of Mattel, their toy maker in China bought defective paint from another supplier. So it was a second-tier supplier that caused a problem, but Mattel was the one that had to address it. So an important thing to recognize from this unit is quality is tied to the quality of inputs. It's the old garbage in, garbage out. If you use inferior inputs, you're going to produce an inferior product. Technology and innovation. Suppliers are potential sources of innovation and new technology. Sometimes suppliers can make you better by showing you ways to use technology to become more efficient, or by providing you with ideas that maybe you can implement to develop new products, processes, or services. You've probably heard this term social responsibility a lot in your other business classes. Social responsibility are basically behaviors that affect related communities, all the stakeholders. And so here is a list of different things to consider that are all elements of social responsibility. Can you think of other things that could be added to this particular list? Next, we're going to take a look at Cisco. Cisco is a technology company that produces things like switches, routers, wireless, mobility, security elements for IT. And we're going to take a look. I'm going to pause and let you pull up the Cisco video that's posted in Moodle, and then we'll discuss it. So what criteria does Cisco use when analyzing and evaluating its suppliers? Pause the video here and write down some of the criteria, and then I'll review those with you. Okay, criteria that Cisco uses when evaluating suppliers included safe employee working conditions, fair labor practices, reducing adverse impact on the environment, which included carbon footprint, packaging, and shipping, diversity of supply base, and adhering to and driving industry standards. In the video, the presenter mentioned that Cisco has the concept of product take-back. What is that? Go ahead and pause the PowerPoint here. Product take-back is basically a circular life, making it easy for the customer to return the product at the end of its useful life for reuse or disposal. So it's the whole cradle to the grave concept. Now I want you to pause this video and go into Moodle and watch the Scoring Suppliers on Sustainability video that's posted there. How did supplier D.W. Morgan benefit from its collaboration with Cisco? Go ahead and pause the PowerPoint at this time and think about an answer to this question. Here are 3 things that D.W. Morgan did. They integrated sustainability criteria into their supplier scorecard evaluation. They reduced mileage in their shipping routes that led to cost and energy savings. And through brainstorming and implementation, they put together sustainability best practices. So I'm going to close this video with a question for you to think about. Why do some companies resist developing and implementing sustainability practices? We're going to stop this video right here, and I will record a second video covering the remainder of Chapter 10. Take care.